morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand where in your world. Hello there, welcome to another Q&A Wednesday, slightly tinged with sadness today, as when this video goes out, this gorgeous thing will no longer be in my possession. But needs must. Anyway, let's get to your questions. Start with question one. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so question one today is, when does John Frusciante use his fuzz pedal? It's kind of a difficult question to answer, really, because John used pedals, unless it was kind of like specifically for a song, like say for instance like the envelope filter and phaser in Throwaway Television, or delay in Don't Forget Me, or the Mooga Fuga pedals in Danny California. Unless it was actually for a specific part of the song, John was very kind of free rein with his pedals. You see him a lot clicking things off and on. So basically how he feels at the time. There's a version of Scar Tissue at the AOL sessions where they're recording in where they film it in the place where they recorded Stadium Arcadium. There's a filmed recording of that, and John does the second guitar solo with I think it's the big muff he's got on his board at that time. I could be wrong with that, but it's a fuzz pedal of some description, and he starts the solo and he's on the neck pickup, and he immediately goes, he thinks it's too dark, so he puts his selector switch down to his treble pickup to get a little bit more kind of brightness out the guitar, because obviously it's too dark for his sound and he doesn't like it. And then on the third solo, the final solo of Scar Tissue, he starts it again with the fuzz pedal, but by the end of it he's gone back to his DS2, which means he didn't like the fuzz pedal, and he's changed it somewhere during the solo, and you kind of see him messing around with pedals to the DS2, and you can see him turn his DS2 off at the end of that performance. So it's kind of hard to say when he would use it and when he wouldn't. During Californication, it was pretty much every distorted guitar solo, you know, 90%, 80%. But it is hard to tell because John was very kind of free reign with his pedals. We're never going to really 100% know what, unless we had John's pedalboard cam, which unfortunately we never had. But it's really hard to tell when he used it and when he didn't use it. So you can hear sometimes it sounds like a fuzz pedal, but that could just be the DS2, like I spoke about in some videos. The DS2, when it's kind of used in that way, it sounds like a fuzz pedal. So, you know, it could be the DS2 getting mixed up with a big muff pedal or his Mosrite fuzz or whatever. But it's kind of hard to tell when he uses the fuzz alone and doesn't combine it with the DS2 or whatever, really. But it's kind of hard to tell. Like I say, his distortion and his solo tones weren't sorry, I can't talk. You know, they varied to how he felt at that point in time. He would go to what pedal he felt at the time, and if that didn't work, he would go to another one. So if he kicked on his DS2 and that wasn't working, he would go maybe turn that off and go for a fuzz pedal or something else. So it's hard to tell, really. It's just use it when you feel like you want it. Is kind of key to that, really. If you've got a fuzz pedal, use it when you feel you want to use it. And if it doesn't sound right when you turn it on, turn it off, and use something else. So, and I think that's how John would do it. It wasn't kind of set in stone, really. So it was just kind of like, you know, turn it on, don't like that, I'm going to go to this, or I don't like that, I'm going to go to that. So, I hope that's answered your question. It's not really the best answer in the world to that question. I know, I'm really sorry about that, but it is hard to tell when he used it and when he didn't, and it's quite hard to hear the difference between the DS2 and a fuzz sometimes, because they both sound, you know, they've both got the same kind of tonal characteristics. DS2 has a bit different kind of sound. It's got a bit more of a singy kind of sound, less harsh and woolly. It's a bit more cutting, but yeah, that AOL session, Scar Tissue, is a good example of John using fuzz and not liking it and going back to the DS2, which is I would still say is his core kind of tone. The DS2 is. It's the pedal he's had for the longest time using for distortion and solos. So it's kind of hard to tell when John used his fuzz pedal and when he didn't use his fuzz pedal. But yeah, I hope that's answered that question. I say go and check out that Scar Tissue video and just watch him what he's doing. He does kind of like go off a fuzz pedal fairly fast and want to go back to the DS2. So yeah, anyway, I hope that's answered your question. Moving on to question 2 now, which is many questions within a question. Okay, so question 2 now is there's 3 questions here this person's asked. What picks do I use and why? Plectrums I use are either 50 or 60mm plectrums, depending on how I feel at the time. This is a 60 at this point in time. It's a nylon plectrum. These are brilliant, but they're a bit slippy. But I tend to use 50 or 60mm plectrums. I just like the give. I hate plectrums that don't give when I play. I like to be able to kind of feel it hitting the strings. With really fat plectrums, I don't like the attack. I struggle to get dynamics out of big plectrums. I feel they're very kind of like straight across the board. So I really like thin plectrums, and I like them with a lot of give and a lot of bend. So depending on how I feel, it's either 50 or 60mm plectrums. So orange Dunlop ones or the red Dunlop ones mainly, but I do have some other ones as well. These are black. I can't remember what they were called, but they're black nylon ones. I've had them forever, and they're really cool. But they're the plectrums I use, 50 or 60mm. I've never changed really. I like, you know, I like the plectrums that give a lot. They just feel better to me when I'm playing. The next question was, what do you think of Chapman guitars, and do I want one? I do like the look of some of the new Chapman guitars. I don't really have a massive opinion, as I've never tried one, but there is one that I really like the idea. It was white. I don't know what it was called. It was a white kind of strap one. It had 3 single coils. and a maple neck, and I really like the look of that one. And it'd be really cool to try one. I would like to try one. Would I like to own one? Yeah, I'd like to own that one, but I'd like to try it first, because I don't know if I'd get on with it. I don't know how kind of I don't know. I'm a very kind of a very I don't know. I'd have to try it to know. But that white one with the 3 single coils and the trem and everything like that really appeals to me. I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I would want that one. But yeah. And also you asked what solid state amp would you recommend for a Silverchair tone? I'm not a big fan of Silverchair. I haven't really listened to a lot. I've listened to a bit of their stuff, but not a great deal of it. What I did hear didn't really appeal. Like I said, for me to like music, it has to do something internally, and their music didn't really do that. But solid state amp wise, I'm going to stick with my main 3 to recommend, which are the Orange CR120, the PD Red Stripe Bandit, and the Marshall MG100 HDFX, or any of the combos. And the same with the Orange, any of the combos of the CR120 combo, or the CR60, or the CR35, or any of them, you can they're just great amplifiers for getting a range of different tones. Same with the Bandit Red Stripe. So those 3 are the ones I'd recommend, either the CR120 in its head and cab or combo version, the Marshall MG100 HDFX in its head and cab or combo, or the PV Red Stripe Bandit. They're just my go-to amps to get anything out of, and I just love them. So I would recommend any of those 3, and they're all relatively, well, apart from the CR120, which is a bit pricey, but they're all relatively cheap. The Bandit and the Marshall MG, they're very very affordable amps. But and I'm pretty sure you can get a tone like that out of them. I don't actually know what amp he used. My brain's saying he used Mesa Boogie, but I'm not 100% sure. A dark thing to be wrapped up in, but there's no quick fix. There's no quick do this and this and this, and you'll be fine and be happy and running through the meadows with sheep. But there isn't any of that with depression. It's a case of, if you have it bad, you've got it, and that's just the way it is. The key to getting along with it, and because no motivation comes from being depressed. It's not that it's not a separate thing. No motivation and depression go hand in hand. Same thing with anxiety. They all go hand in hand, and they're all nasty road to be driving down. Tips to get through it is to basically, what I found through my experiences is to basically just not let it get its way. It's strange. It's like anxiety. I always talk about anxiety and depression and lack of motivation through depression and stuff like that, as it's a separate entity to you. And I suppose that's kind of a way of distancing, but it's not really a separate entity to you. It is you. You are rebelling against yourself in your head, and it's just time to stop rebelling against yourself. And I know that's 10 times easier than than it sounds. You can say it all day long, but it's 10 times easier to actually do it than it is to say it. Because I've been there. I still get there now, where I wake up some mornings and I feel I'm the most useless human being in the world. What's the point? Literally, what is the point in your existence? I get that, not every morning, but quite a lot of mornings sometimes, where and it'll depress me for a couple of days or a week or whatever. And the way you get through it is by digging deep and finding an inner strength to go, I'm not having this dictate what I can and cannot do with my life. It's my life. I want to live it. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm not having it beat me down to the point where I'm sat alone all day every day. And this is 10 times, like I say, this is 10 times easier to say than it is to do, because when you're in that mode, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no hope. There is no kind of guiding light. Reach out your hand, grab mine, and I'll pull you out of it. There is none of that, because you don't feel it. But things do get better. But you've got to let them get better. You've got to stop letting this dictate what you can and cannot do. It's 10 times easier than it's said, and I still struggle with it to this day. But that is, in my opinion, the key to it. You really have to go, I'm not having it lead me down that road. I'm going back that way, and I'm going to find another way. You know, it sounds cliche as hell, but it really is, to me, that's kind of it. It's that inner strength that I know everybody has. It's just that some people find it and some people don't. And the people who don't, again, I've been there. I have been there. Luckily, I'm still here to talk about it. But people who don't find it, I can't even begin to start on that. But it's absolutely heartbreaking to hear people who go through this. It shouldn't be a thing, and it shouldn't be a stigma attached to, you know, it being a weak human being. It's ridiculous. You know, people who live with depression and anxiety and that are some of the strongest people in the world. They really are, because what they have to deal with on a daily basis is horrendous, and it shouldn't be so stigmatised and frowned upon and humiliated, and it really gets my back up. But tips to getting through depression is just keep going. It feels hopeless and pointless and aimless, and there's just no point in this, that and the other, but you have to keep going. It's just, like I said, it's an internal strength that you have to dig and find and pull out and just grin and bear it and grit your teeth and just go for it and just say F you. You know, I'm not going to swear, because, you know, but that's what you have to say. It's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not having you dictate what I can and cannot do with my life. This is my life. I'm not having it been dictated by a feeling. You know, depression is just a feeling after all. You know, it's a feeling of no worth, low self-esteem, all this, that and the other. It can be pushed aside with a lot of strength. It's hard work, it's tiring, it's exhausting, and it's just mind-numbing, but it can be done. And you're never going to be free of it, though. Just so you know, like it's always going to be there. You just have to find that inner strength to keep going, day in, day out. Just take it as each day comes, and you'll get there. It's just that's the key to it, really. Just keep pushing. Don't ever stop fighting it. The moment you stop fighting it, it wins, and you know that could be game over. And nobody wants that. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want you, the person who asked this question, to go that way. I don't want that. You know, find that inner strength to do it, because if I can do it and other people I know can do it, everyone can do it. They really can. So it's really kind of like, just dig deep. It's in here. You know, it's not up here. You know, just find a way. There is a way. There's always a way. Everybody is different. Everybody has a way of doing it. Trust me, they really do. You do especially. So, you know, so just keep going. Just keep going. It's horrible and it's hard work, but you'll get there. Trust me, I promise. Promise. Just keep going. You know, you don't let it beat you down. You know, just really don't let it beat you down. There is an internal strength that we all have that we can get through it. We can get through anything. You know what I mean? It really can. It's quite incredible when you kind of find it. Just don't let it kind of like, you know, get on top of you, so to say. But yeah, I mean, that's my tip for that. Someone asked me a question a while back, actually, which I'm going to answer in a second. But I wanted to talk about it, and he's kind of in hand with this, actually, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But that's my tip for, you know, getting through depression and having no motivation and falling behind in life. You're not falling behind in life. You know, don't worry about life. That's not important. Life is still going to be there. It's always going to be there. Just keep going. Your life will come to you. You know, so to say. You just got to keep, you know, fighting that depression, and through fighting it, things will come to you. You know, the moment you give up, you know, that is your life. You are definitely falling behind in life there. Don't give up. Don't let it beat you. Don't let it win. Don't let it push you down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Is the kind of key to that. I mean, I don't know how good this advice is. I can only speak from my personal experience, and I still get it now. Where like I say, I get up some mornings, I find I can't be arsed. I don't see the point. But you get on and you keep on. You know, you've got to keep on. Just don't let it win. The moment you let it just kind of like overwhelm you, it's horrendous. You know, and I've been there. And like I said, I'm one of the lucky people who's actually still here to be able to talk about it, having been crushed by it. So, you know, I count myself lucky, and you know, it can happen. You know, you can do it as well. Trust me, you really can. You just got to dig deep, find that inner strength, and just keep pushing. Take each day as it comes. Take every minute, every second, every hour as it comes, and just live it. You know, and live with it. You're never going to be free of it. Just live with it, and get on with it. You know, that sounds really silly, and again, I don't know how, you know, and I say it's a lot easier for me to say it sitting here. Sorry about that weird camera glitch there, but yeah, like I say, it is about finding an internal strength, taking it day in, day out, just keep going. You know, don't ever feel alone in it. Don't ever feel like you can't reach out and talk to people about it, or this, that, and the other. You know, you can get through it. You know, it'll always be there. But you can live with it, you can live in harmony with it, so to say. I know it sounds cliche, but you can live with it, and you can keep going. You don't have to kind of like, you know, just give up and just, you know, succumb to it. You don't have to do that. That is not an option. You know, you can beat it. You know, anybody at any point of it can beat it. Trust me, I promise to you, I have been at the lowest ebb of life and I'm still here. And I refuse to let it beat me and to not be here. I am going to be here and do what I want to do and live my life, whether it likes it or it doesn't like it. I don't care what that says. And it's hard and it's horrible and it's difficult and it's stressful and it's just, some days it's just ridiculously hard. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's only a feeling. I'm not going to have, and it's a negative feeling. I'm not going to have my life ruled by a negative feeling. I am not going to have it. I'm not having that, and neither should you, or anybody out there who's suffering from depression or anxiety. You know, it's just a feeling. You know, just talk to people you know, talk to your family, talk to this and the other. Mental health and depression should not be stigmatised. It should not be pushed in the corner. You should not be told you're too sensitive, you know, you're being childish and this, that and the other. That's nonsense. It's horrendous what people with depression and anxiety have to go through. As somebody who goes through it as well, I understand that only too well, and I have been ridiculed for it, so I know exactly how that feels. So yeah, just keep going, and if you ever need to talk, find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. There's a link on the top of my channel. Find me on there, talk to me on Messenger. I am only happy to talk to people about this and try and help them, because that's all we have, is each other to help each other with this, you know. And you know, the awareness of it should be better than it is, definitely, but it's not. But you know, we can all help each other out. And if you want, you know, if you want to talk about it, find me on Facebook, and I'll do my best to talk to me. Add me as a friend first, though, because Facebook is stupid and it sends people's messages into a spam folder, which I never ever get to see. So add me as a friend first, otherwise I won't ever receive any kind of information, notification, sorry, of your message. So yeah, if you want to talk to me about any of those problems, just seriously, I am more than happy to help. So yeah, so if you know, I hope this answers your question anyway. And it brings me to a question that somebody asked me a while back, and this actually kind of reminded me of it. Somebody asked me a while back saying, for everything I've been through, my bullying at school and anxiety and depression and all this kind of the lowest ebb stuff, like, you know, how did that, you know, how does it not crush you and make you just fold and give up? Honestly, I don't know. Well, I do know, but I don't know how I beat it. I mean, there are times where I feel there's something else that's kind of kept me here. Whether that's for a reason, I don't know. But it sounds stupid. It sounds really silly. But that's the way it feels to me. It's like, you know, there's been points where I've gone, you know, I can't do this anymore. But then something called trigger saying, yeah, you can. You know, there's, you know, you need to keep going for something. You know, there's something there you need to keep going for. And I didn't really understand that until I started playing guitar. And it was the guitar that really made me go, this is it for me. You know, this is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do with my life. This is all I want to do. And if I'm not here, I can't do that. And that's not good enough. You know, I want to be able to play my guitar every day I'm alive, every day I'm breathing, every second of the day I want my guitar with me. So, and if I'm not here, I can't do that. So it's that, again, coming back to that finding strength thing, that's my strength, is the guitar, is music, is making music and playing the guitar. Every time I play the guitar, it just means the world to me to be able to do it. And it also proves to me, in a weird kind of way, not in a weird kind of way, but it proves to me that all the people who said I was no good, I'm never going to amount to anything, I'm useless, this and the other, I'm this, that and the other, it proves I am good at something. You know, I can do something with my life. I mean, it's hard because it's music, and the music business is absolutely messed up to a max, and it really is. It's, you know, I'm having camera glitches left, right and centre today. But the guitar is my reason for being here. You know, and certain people in my life are my reasons for being here. And but when I pick up a guitar and I play a guitar, it just is. It's so freeing, and it's just something I always want to do. I want to be able to play guitar every day I'm alive. I don't want to be without it. It sounds really silly, but it's how I feel about it. It gives my life meaning, and it helps me go. But all the people who said I was useless and nothing and this and the other, it makes me go, no, I am good at something. I can do something. I am doing something with my life, and it nearly did destroy me, what I went through. It really did. And if the guitar didn't come along when it did, I don't think I'd be here talking to you awesome people out there who, by the way, make my life awesome as well. You know, I'm really pretty sure I wouldn't be here if it wasn't, you know, for the guitar, because it really is something otherworldly to me when I play the guitar. It just takes me out of here. Just all the nasty stuff that is in here just goes, and I'm totally free with what I'm doing, and that's the best thing in the world. It really is the best thing in the world for me. And it's also it's also a big, you know, I'm not going to swear, but it's a big F you to the people who did bully me. I can't let them win. Some days I want to let them win, but you can't let people like that win and, you know, dictate your life. Like, you know, you're never going to amount to anything. You can't take it to heart. Yes, I am, is what you should turn around and say. It sounds cliche, but it's like, no, you what? I'm never going to amount to anything. Watch me. You know, that's the attitude I have to that. And it could have crushed me, but instead, when I found the guitar, it gave me that strength to do that, going, you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove all of you wrong. And I'm going to show you, you know, what I'm capable of and what I can do with my life. You know, and one day I'll prove you all. I'll prove it to you all wrong, but you were all wrong when you said this, that and the other about me, and I will show you exactly what I've become, you know. And, you know, it's hard because I'm trying to get somewhere in the music business, and music business, as we all know, is messed up in this day and age, and you know, I'm never going to get to, you know, ridiculous levels of that. I mean, we would want to in this day and age anyway. But, you know, just to get up every day and play my guitar and do a video and play guitar and have people like what I'm playing is me proving them people wrong. And that gives me the strength to just keep pushing through it and not letting people like that win and not letting things like that beat me down, and just keep going. And but yeah, that is it. I just, you know, if I'm not here, I can't play my guitar, and that's all I want to do. I want to make music. I want to play guitar. I want to reach out and grab people with my music and my guitar playing. I don't want it. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be a show off. You know, I'm not an egocentric guitar player or anything like that. But anyway, but yeah, I hope that's answered your question on depression and this. I know, and I hope I've answered your questions okay this week. And yeah, I'll see you again on Friday for another video. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening. Yes, and like I say, don't let it beat you. Just keep going. If if you've got problems, keep going. Keep going. You can get through it. You can live with it. Trust me. I promise. You can just keep going. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you again very soon for another video. Goodbye now.